there is one strategy that will instantly develop, elevate, or enhance your executive presence, would you believe that this one strategy is how you are maintaining eye contact? Maybe you're trying to advance in your career. Maybe you're trying to go for a promotion or negotiate a salary, or maybe you're trying to start that business, but maybe there's something that's preventing you from doing so. Well, you may be doing eye contact incorrectly. And in this video, I'm going to share with you what you are doing wrong as it relates to maintaining and keeping eye contact and how this can be hurting your executive presence. Now, I will tell you, this is not clickbait, ladies and gentlemen. This is not clickbait. I'm going to share with you what you are doing wrong and how you can improve this critical skill that you absolutely need if you're trying to elevate how you are communicating as a woman in leadership or a man in leadership. This topic is so important, I can't specify it to gender. This is something that you need to absolutely be able to master, and you will be able to learn some very good strategies on how to do so by the end of this video. So you want to watch this video till the end, If you have ever wanted to elevate how you communicate as a leader, enhance how you communicate as a leader, or start developing your communication skills as a leader, eye contact is by far the most, and I mean the most important skill that will absolutely help you to establish your executive presence. So if this information sounds good to you, like this is a good video, then feel free to stick around and watch the entire video. It's going to have some really great information in it. Now, I want to start this by saying that if you're watching this video right now, you are watching the replay, and I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for spending a few moments out of your day with me to learn more about this very, very critical skill and what you might be doing wrong. This is a live video. There typically is a point in time in the YouTube video live streaming process that people start to join. So just bear with me for just a few moments, and I will greet everyone, say hello to them, engage with them, and then we'll go right into some of these topics. So I appreciate those of you who are present and joining. Welcome, welcome. If you would like to know how to master eye contact so you can develop your executive presence, so you can get the new job you're looking for, so you can get the promotion, you can start your business, this is a place for you to be today. You're going to learn gems. That's all I can say is you're going to learn a lot of information. So if you have questions, let me know. Let me know where you're joining from in the world today. So let me say hello to everyone in chat. We got Sadie. Hello, Sadie. Welcome, welcome. Hello, how are you doing today? Kamar, hello, welcome, welcome. So if you all have any questions as it relates to mastering eye contact, this is the video for you today. I'm going to show you what you might be doing wrong as it relates to eye contact and how it's hurting your executive presence. Plus, I'm going to show you exactly how you can not make these mistakes. Now, if you like this content so far, then you need to absolutely subscribe to this channel. This is a place where I am going to help you elevate how you communicate, because people become great by how they communicate. So if you're ready to travel on that road of greatness, then learn how to communicate here. So Life Hacks 2.0, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. And Sadie, yes, I am good, and you. Sadie said good, and you. All right, so if y'all have any questions, let me know. Let me know where you're joining from in the world today. So these are the things that you may be doing as it relates to getting eye contact wrong. Now, this is a very serious topic, and just you need to get a pen and a paper on this one. This is going to be a video that will help a lot of people along the way, because they don't talk about all these details on a lot of YouTube channels. So I appreciate the heart emojis. Thank you so much. I appreciate those. So what do people get wrong about eye contact? There's typically 3 scenarios that they get wrong. First is that they may not even be able to make eye contact. So that's number 1. They may struggle with making eye contact. Like they literally just cannot make eye contact. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever felt this way. If you wanted to make eye contact, but you just felt like, I don't want to make it, and you just look away. So let me know in the comments below. The second is, let's say they make eye contact, but they are not able to maintain eye contact. So this situation will happen when you have somebody that's really ready to make eye contact with someone when they're speaking, to try to establish their executive presence, and they do it, but then they can't maintain it. So this is something that's really a struggle, and this is what you might be doing wrong as it relates to your eye contact. And finally, if you make the mistake and you can't make eye contact initially, or you cannot maintain eye contact, then you'll be in a situation where you lose your executive presence and it hurts your executive presence. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what you can do to maintain eye contact, and I'll share with you some mistakes you might be making along the way. So before I go into those, I want to see what's going on in the chat. So Sadie Gardner says, always make eye contact with singers on my TV. Absolutely. And Sadie, thank you for sharing that, because this is very, very important, because this is fantastic. I mean, this is something that is so incredibly important. People don't understand how important eye contact is and the mistakes that they make with it. So appreciate that. Sadie also said, also made eye contact one time with JoJo Siwa at Olive Gardens. Okay, I'm not sure who that is, but let me know in the chat so I know. So I'm educated. But yes, eye contact is very important. Colton Armendariz. Okay. All right. Hello, Colton. No, I don't remember you. I did say donated $100 last stream. All my life savings. I did not see that, but I appreciate you being here today. Dog Dude 27. Hey, girl. Hey. Hello, Dog Dude. How you doing today? Let me know if y'all got questions as it relates to mastering eye contact. You're going to learn some gems today. So we just talked about why people struggle with eye contact. The three things what happens, either they can't make it initially, or they can't maintain eye contact, and then it hurts their executive presence. If you don't know what executive presence is, this is your ability to make the room feel that you're present and to really influence other people. Either you are establishing yourself as a leader. Executive presence is something you must have. So this is what I see people do. And while I'm going through this, feel free to let me know if you all have any questions in the chat or any comments in the chat. Please let me know, and let me know where you're joining from also, so I can say hello to you from whatever country you're joining from. All right, so what I want to also mention before, let me see what's going on in the chat. So Dog Do 27, I know it's off topic, but where is your eyeshadow from? Okay, the eyeshadow well, thank you. And Dog Do said it's very pretty. Well, really pretty, thank you. So before I go into what you might be doing eye contact wise, Dog Dude 27. So my eyeshadow I have right now is a Natasha Denona Love Palette. That is what I'm using right now. That's my eyeshadow. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate it. Now, this is what I've seen people do. These are the mistakes that people make when they're making eye contact. So if you've made these mistakes, it's okay. You can say yes, you have, or just take mental notes so you don't do it again. So most of the time when people are trying to make that eye contact, the mistake they usually make is they have a hard time maintaining it. There's something intuitively inside of them that they are very nervous about or very not confident about that makes them feel intimidated that they can't make eye contact with someone. So when they look at somebody in their eyes, it's already something that is very, very awkward in itself. And most people, professionals, really struggle with making eye contact and public speaking. So on this channel, this is what I talk about. So if you like this information, feel free to subscribe. But this is what I talk about on this channel, because if majority of people don't feel comfortable making eye contact, they don't feel comfortable speaking in public, then how much more elevated and amazing will you be if you can start to master these type of situations that people don't feel comfortable doing? This is how you become an amazing leader. You do the things that other people are not willing to do. And this is why you're watching this video. So oftentimes what will happen is that people can't make eye contact. They can't maintain eye contact at all. And I have a scenario for you. This is the best thing that I would say for you if you are struggling to make eye contact. Now, before I go into it, I'm going to see what's going on in the chat. So we have Sadie Gardner says, and Dog Dude 27, thank you for the heart. I appreciate that. Sadie Gardner says, also made eye contact from my TV with actors, YouTubers. Yes, and eye contact is so important, Sadie, and I appreciate you so much for bringing that up, because it is critical. It is critical, and I'm about to give you my personal analogy that I use that will absolutely help you or anyone else who is maybe struggling with making eye contact or maintaining eye contact. This is going to be great. You're going to love it. This was what helped a lot of my clients also. Before I go into it, I want to definitely make sure I'm talking to everybody in the chat. DogDude27 said, it doesn't mean anything is wrong with that person though, right? No, exactly. That doesn't mean anything, nothing's wrong with that person. Eye contact, DogDude27, is something that you have to be trained to do. And this is something I help my clients with, but it's something you have to be trained in. That means there's nothing wrong with you at all, not a thing, or anyone else that has a hard time with it. You just have to be trained to know how to do it. And this is the reason why you're watching this video, because I'm going to give you a scenario that will help you to be able to start mastering eye contact. Because if you can master your eye contact and communicating with people non-verbally with your eyes, it will instantly enhance your leadership presence, your executive presence, and make you stand out from everybody else. And people will start to really take you very seriously. Okay, DogDude27 says, if they can't keep or make eye contact. Yes, and that goes on with your question. It doesn't mean anything bad about anyone, not at all. It just means they have not been trained to communicate at a higher level than their peers, which is what I specialize in on my channel. All right, Evan Cook, hello, welcome, Evan. Welcome to the live stream today. If you have any questions as it relates to eye contact, or you want to have some dialogue about eye contact or leadership or communicating at a higher level, let me know in the comments below and I will help you. And this is a place where you're welcome to ask any questions that are related to this topic, and I will support you and give you over 20 years worth of experience as a C-suite executive, a manager, a director, and an executive coach and a public speaker to help you fast track your career. Okay, so Evan Cook has a question. What do I do if someone is staring at me? So this is a very good question, and I'm going to give you some. It depends on the content, on the context. So are they staring, and give me some insight, Evan. So are they staring at you? Let's say if you're sitting down and they just happen to kind of, you know how you can feel like someone's looking at you at the side of your peripheral vision? Is it something like that? If it is, then that's a different, yes. Okay, so Evan said, yes, it is something like that. So if somebody's staring at you and you feel like they're staring at you, it depends on how comfortable you are with making eye contact. Okay, so I'm going to give you all my analogy to help you make eye contact. So Evan, hang tight for just a second. Let me go through this, and then let's apply this to your situation. So this is what I do, what I tell with my audience. So hold on, before I go into it, Sadie says, sorry, I have to go. I have made a promise to another YouTuber. That's life right now. And that I would be right back. I'll be back in a few minutes. No problem, Sadie. And we have the replay. So if we're still here, love to have you back. If not, just check out the replay. But I don't want you to miss this part because it's very important. So this is what I will tell you to do. If you are having a hard time making eye contact or maintaining eye contact, or like Evan said, there's somebody that's like staring at you and you feel them staring at you, this is what you can do. Are you ready? I use this analogy with my clients. So if any of you have ever watched any Western movies where you have a cowboy or a cowgirl, but most of the time you'll see a cowboy, and they are at a place where they are about to have a conversation with everybody. And they walk outside because there's some fight, there's some problem, and so they resolve it by a gunfight. Now, what they do when they're in the movies is that there's a point in time where they are looking at each other. They're staring at each other. They're squinting. They're staring. They're looking to see who's going to blink first. Who's the first person that's going to blink? Because that person that blinks is probably not going to make it through the movie, right? So I use this analogy when I'm teaching my clients how to start mastering eye contact and become comfortable with it. As I mentioned before with DogDude27, it is something that you have to be trained to do, and you have to practice to master it. So the next time when you are in a meeting, conversation, discussion, or a situation that's going on where you need to showcase yourself as a leader or try to get somebody's attention, like Evan said, that's just staring at you, then make eye contact with them. But the key is try your best not to be the first person to blink or look away. You may be wondering, well, why? What does that have to do with anything? Because if you can maintain eye contact to the point where the other person says, okay, I'm going to have to switch my gaze, then you are establishing yourself as a person that's in control of this conversation. Now, I have used this. I personally do this myself, and I've done this in very friendly conversations and very contentious conversations, and it wins every time. If you can really practice just maintaining eye contact, and not in a glaring, mean type of way, but just making eye contact, Evan. That's all you do. And Dog Do 27 and Sadie, just making that eye contact. You need to be the person that does not look away first. If you can do that, you will set yourself apart. And in Evan's case, if you have somebody that's staring at you, all you need to do is just stare at them, and then they probably will stop staring at you. More than likely, they're going to look away, or they're going to look down because they're going to feel a bit embarrassed that you caught them staring at you. So I would use this. This is by far one of the most important skills. If anyone told me I'm trying to become a leader and I'm trying to elevate my career and I'm trying to do more things, teach me one skill to do it. How can I make this happen? I would tell them this one skill that we're talking about on this live. If you had a hard time speaking, or you were nervous about speaking, if you can control how you are communicating with your eyes non-verbally, it will automatically elevate your executive presence because your eyes say a lot. And so next time you're in that scenario where you're trying to figure out, how can I really show myself as a leader? How can I negotiate this salary? How can I try to advance and go into this next role? How can I show them I'm serious? How can I show them that I'm a leader and I have an executive presence? Eye contact. Remember the cowboy scenario. Remember the cowboy scenario, because this is what will actually help you on your journey. And a lot of people on YouTube do not talk about eye contact in this way. They speak about it a bit differently, but on this channel, I talk about real scenarios, real strategies that will actually help you, because I've done it many years. What happens many times in the executive coaching world, or in consulting work too, is you may have individuals that have been helping people in those roles that are those higher level leadership roles, but they actually haven't done it themselves. And so it makes it very difficult to actually use practical knowledge like I'm sharing with you now in terms of how to maintain eye contact. So next time, just make sure you're staring at the person, not glaring, not like scowling at them. Just stare and just wait and say, I'm going to be the cowboy or the cowgirl that does not look away first. And wait for them to look away, because they will. And when they look away, that shows you as the person that is in control of the conversation, that is the leader. This is so critically important. You have to master this. If you're trying to elevate how you communicate, master eye contact, because as I mentioned, majority of people are not comfortable with eye contact, leaders. They're not. So you can be that person that stands out by being more comfortable with eye contact. Now, there's pauses that happen with eye contact. I talk a bit about this on the channel. If you want me to go into more detail, I could talk about public speaking, communication skills, literally all day, leaders, all day. So if you want me to go more into, well, I made eye contact and I'm staring and I'm going to be the cowboy or the cowgirl that does not look away, then what do I do with that awkward silence? That is something that we could talk about in another video. Just let me know if you want to learn more about it in the comments below. All right, let me go to the comments. So Evan Cook said, thank you. Absolutely, Evan, you're so welcome. And if you have any other questions or scenarios or anything you want to have a conversation about as it relates to communicating and really advancing yourself professionally, let me know in the comments below. I really appreciate you so much for bringing that question up in that scenario, because a lot of people that watch the lives, they watch the replays. And so this will help them too, because Evan, we have all been in situations where someone has just been staring at us off to the side and we're wondering, like, why are they staring at us? How can I make them not stare at me? Well, use my scenario about being a cowboy and look over and make eye contact with them, and they will look away. So this will help you not only in those scenarios, this will help you in interviews, this will help you to negotiate a higher salary, this will help you to start your business, this will help you in friendly conversations, this will help you in hard conversations, and etc. So this is a skill, is priceless. This is something that I'm sharing with you, that I share with my clients in a one-on-one setting, but I want to make sure that you all are communicating at that higher level than your peers. Okay, Colton, let me see what you have to say. So Colton says, hello. So let's see, Colton, I don't quite understand about being a mod, please. I don't know that exactly. So absolutely, yes. But Colton, hello, welcome. Glad to see you back again. Okay, Evan says, okay, I will go now. Thank you very much. I have been wondering about this for years, and you are very smart. Well, thank you, Colton. You're very smart for asking that question. That is a fantastic question. I appreciate you being here today. If you like this information, feel free to subscribe to the channel. This is where I talk about these type of high level, next level skills every single day. I'm here to really help you elevate how you communicate and to become that great person that Evan wants to be. So feel free to join. I'm glad that you're here. Appreciate you so much for going over this with me. I'm going to go over a few more things and mistakes that people make. So you might want to check out the replay whenever you have time. Okay. Now, one of the mistakes that I see people make when they are trying to make all of that. Okay, Evan says, I subscribe. Goodbye now. Okay, bye, Evan. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. All right, so let's see. Colton says, hey, what do I do? My son is watching some things that are not quite right. Well, it just depends on, there's a lot of things, and I'll go into what people sometimes make mistakes in as it relates to making eye contact. But Colton, to answer your question, if your son is watching things that are not appropriate and etc., you have to get a handle on it. And how is he watching this? Is he watching it on like a platform, the internet? So Colton, I don't know how old your son is, but I have kids too. And yes, sometimes that can be a struggle. So you have to, if you sign into you have your own parent account, then you have to basically get yourself in a setting to where you can view the watch history of the account, if that makes sense. So let me see what else you have to say. So Colton said, like, he's only supposed to watch YouTube Kids, but he watches normally YouTube. So so your child is a bit older. I have that same kind of issue too sometimes with my older child. And I do have, yes. Okay, that's so interesting. My daughter is 9. So they're around about that same age. So I understand your struggle with that. I really, for me, yes, they're sorry to be watching YouTube Kids. But if they're not, then you have to have them at least logged down to a account where you can monitor their history. So it may not be your YouTube Kids account, because I understand they're supposed to be watching it, but they somehow find YouTube. So even if they are on YouTube, if it's under if it's under your sign-in that you have, then that will be something that will, at least you'll be able to watch the watch history and then start cutting things off. But ultimately, that's why they made YouTube Kids, is for that reason, to make sure the kids are watching things that are appropriate to them. So just trying to get it to where your son is watching YouTube Kids more is a great way to start. If there's times where they start to migrate and do something different, then you definitely want to be signed into an account so you can view that watch history and see what's going on. That's what I would personally do. I have my daughter watching YouTube Kids too. I know sometimes she wants to watch just regular YouTube, but that's what I found to be successful for me. But I appreciate you mentioning that. That's a very, very good question. I know it's not about eye contact, but I'm here to answer any way I can help you, any possible way I can. I'm a parent, I take care of my kids too, so I understand that struggle is real, Colton. It is. Now, I do want to go back into what people typically do as it relates to making that eye contact and making mistakes. So instead of maintaining the eye contact, what they do oftentimes is they will do the wondering eye contact. This is the most inappropriate type of eye contact ever. Now, what happens is when people are doing the wondering type eye contact is that instead of them making direct eye contact with you, and if you're having a hard time with this, just look someone straight in their eye or look at the middle of their between their eyebrows right here, just to make eye contact. Sometimes people may look around. They may look you up and look you down, and it's just not appropriate. And if you've caught yourself looking someone up and down, don't do that. Please try not to do that. The key is you are aware that you make this mistake. So the wondering eye contact is the fastest way to hurt your executive presence. You don't want to be that person that looks just weird, that just looks people up and looks people down, or just has a hard time focusing on their face. It looks very unsettling. So if you have made this mistake and you notice that you look at somebody's head, you look at their shirt, you look at their shoes, you look at their pants, you look at their hair, you looking at everything, then try your best not to make those same mistakes if you can. because it will hurt your executive presence. Leaders don't do that. Leaders make direct eye contact with their face. Now, if you are one of those people that likes to compliment other individuals and you want to make eye contact, you want to look at them, then this is a way that you can still look at them and make eye contact. Okay, are you ready? You have 2 seconds to and compliment them at the very beginning or in the middle. And all of that happens when you first make that initial eye contact. If you start looking around at someone after you've made that initial eye contact, it is going to look odd and it is not going to look leader like, and it will hurt your executive presence. So please take those initial couple seconds where you can look at somebody and say, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And you see they have like a beautiful shirt on or a nice polo shirt or whatever the case may be. Then you see that there. But don't start looking around at people after you've already made that initial eye contact. It makes it look very odd. So this is an advanced level skill. As I mentioned, what we were talking about earlier with Dog Do 27 and Evan, is that this is a skill that has to be trained. You sometimes may have a hard time learning how to do eye contact because no one's ever trained you how to do it, which is why you're watching this channel and hopefully subscribe. But this is what you have to do. You have to train yourself to keep your eyes focused on face, just on their face. Try your best not to be that person that's like looking at someone up and down. It's just not a good way for you to showcase yourself as a leader and present yourself with an executive presence. When you do that, it hurts your executive presence. And this is a mistake that I see people make. And you might be doing it wrong if you've been doing it. Now let's see what's going on. Colton says one more thing. Okay, no problem, Colton. Let's see. One more thing. Sorry, he's sneaking onto TikTok somehow. I don't know how. And then figures out how to download it and delete it. Well, this is something so Colton, I don't know what type of like phone you have and if you have parental controls on your phone. So one of the things you may want to do is, like, for instance, I have iOS. So I have iOS. They have some parental controls. I have control over my daughter's phone. I mean, I have an idea as to what she's doing. But if he's sneaking on the TikTok somehow, then you'll have to just figure out a way to make sure that he's not, and then delete it. So I know that can be challenging. It might be something you want to talk to your carrier about, because there may be ways. I mean, we're in the 20. I mean, we use phones all the time now, and there may be a way that they can prevent that from happening. I don't know specifically, because not necessarily my child isn't on TikTok like that, so I don't know how. But if they're on it and deleting it, is there a way we can prevent that app from being downloaded to begin with? You might want to talk to your carrier about this. That's what I would do. I would encourage you to talk to your carrier about it and just see if there's any options to do that. Okay, Colton says, I put all parental controls on and he just figures out how to get out of them. Well, kids are smart nowadays. They're very, very intelligent. They can figure things out, especially on the app and etc. I would have that conversation with him about it, and then I would also just see what options you have. It's something that I can tell you I know about parental controls and how to put those on, etc. In terms of how to prevent someone from downloading an app. There is a way, and I have iOS, and I know this is a bit off topic, but Colton, I want to support you any way that I can. There's a way where on my iOS device, if my daughter downloads an app, she has to ask for permission to download the app. Like, it literally comes to me and she has to ask for permission. Now, on my phone, what I do is she has her own phone. So it's set up by her birth date and etc. And so there's certain apps that she wants to play, like games and etc. And it sends me a request on my phone and saying she wants to get an approval for this app, and I look at it and I approve it or I don't approve it. So you may want to look into that. Maybe look at your settings. With your son's phone, I'm not sure if it's set up to be well, I'm assuming it is because you have parental controls. But if it's set up to where it's on their phone, then I'm hoping that his birth date's on there so they know that there's some things that he doesn't need to download. But I would kind of check that out. Okay, Colton says he watches his phone so much that sometimes I put security cameras in his room and he just starts looking possessed and staring at the camera for hours and hours. So I know it's a struggle. And I know, as you were just kind of alluding to, your child is not too far off from where, like, age-wise, where my daughter is too. So it's something where you just have to work with them. TV timeout, phone timeout. That's what I tell my kids. It's TV timeout, phone timeout. And sometimes, especially if you got your security cameras in and you're watching your son just watching his phone, there has to be a break. Like, there has to be a break in the phone. Give me the phone, or you're not going to have your phone. That's what I do. I know that's off topic, but I know sometimes if my daughter does something like that, I literally will say, okay, phone break. Give me your phone. Like, give me your phone. And I take it and have her take a break. Will she be upset and mad about it? Possibly. But that's what I do. And so if you're concerned about that, I would contact your carrier just to confirm. See if there's a way that he would have to get an approval if there's an app like TikTok that's downloaded to where, if he's trying to download the app, then you can block it and prevent him from doing it. So check with your carrier. I feel like the carriers are there to help. They're there to help. They know kids have phones. They don't want them to be introduced to inappropriate things too. So just talk to your carrier and see what they say, if they have any other recommendations that might be helpful for you in this particular case. All right, Sadie, welcome back. Welcome back, Sadie. Hope you're doing well. Glad you came back. Thank you so much. Colton says, I take his phone, but he still stares at the camera for hours and hours. Well, if he's staring at your security camera, then just try to get him engaged in something else. I would say just have him find out what he likes to do outside of a phone. That's something that I have personally been working on, especially in this digital world that we're in with our kids. I would find out, what does he like to do outside of the phone? Are there games he likes to play? Are there other things he likes to do? Try to get him engaged in the things that he likes to do that may not necessarily require a phone, or may just get him out of the room. That might be fun. Maybe he likes to play sports. Maybe you have to figure out what type of games he likes to play and start playing with him. I mean, I know one of the things I do with my daughter is I play Roblox. Do I want to play Roblox? I don't play it all the time because I'm with you all live and with my business. Do I want to play Roblox? Not necessarily. I have other things I need to do, but I found that this is something that she likes to do, and she enjoys doing it, and she enjoys when I play with her. So maybe just finding that time to figure out exactly what it is specifically that your son enjoys doing. And sometimes as parents, we get so very busy with life, and we're busy trying to provide for our kids, and we just sometimes don't really make that time to figure out, well, what do they really like to do? So this may be an opportunity, Colton, for you to really think about, what does your son like to do? What are some activities that you might want to be able to find a way to start leaning into that can help get him out of the room, doing different things, and just having a bit of a variety as it relates to his lifestyle. Okay, so Colton says all he likes to do is sit in his room and stare at the security cameras and sleep. Sometimes he breaks into my medicine cabinet and starts taking random pills. Okay, he will not talk to me. He is not talking to me in 5 days. So, and Colton said, I tried to talk to him. It doesn't work. Okay, well, if he's not speaking or communicating, is there something else going on? That's the first thing I would say. I'm a doctor, and I'm definitely not giving medical advice, but I would just see, is there an event? Is there something that happened that maybe made him upset, where he feels like he doesn't want to speak? Or do you feel like he may need to receive some additional support, in terms of other support individuals or resources that maybe you reach out to in your community to see maybe what's going on? Like, what's the reason this is going on? And this has been happening for 5 days. So I know that's a while, and I know it's very concerning for you. So absolutely want to make sure that he is being supported and see what's going on. Definitely for him taking medications, we definitely don't want him doing that, especially as a minor. He shouldn't be taking any additional medication. So if there's somewhere if you need to put them somewhere else, or put him in a different location, that will probably be very, 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 very helpful. So Colton says, it's because I am very sick and have been for a couple weeks now. Oh, okay. Well, Colton, I'm sorry that you're not feeling well. I hope that you recover very, very soon. And I hope you have a very speedy recovery, Colton. And I know that's a lot to be dealing with, and I appreciate you so much for sharing that on my channel and kind of navigating through what are some things that might be going on. I would say just take care of yourself, okay? You got to take care of yourself. I tell my clients this, and I tell my audience this all the time. When you're on the airplane, what's the first thing the pilot tells you? If the plane is going down, you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first before you can put it on anybody else. So continue taking care of yourself, because it's hard to take care of our kids if we're not taking care of ourselves. So take care of yourself, and then just maybe see if there's some additional support that you may want to look for him if he's just completely like not talking to you in this way for the time being. Colton says, no, I don't think so. He's always been like this. Well, see what kind of support you might want to, what kind of support he may need. There's different individuals. There's people that specifically work with children, as it relates to behavior and etc. So that might be an option just to see how we can help him get out of this particular time period or this phase of what he's dealing with and whatever it is that he has going on right now. Okay, so Colton says, sometimes you just fully doesn't talk to me, and sometimes he talks to me, but not really. So just being in that listening ear as best as you can with where he's at right now, and seeing what other type of support might be helpful to just kind of navigate him through this transition, because he's still young. I mean, he's still really young. And so there may be some other things that are going on right now. I don't know personally, but there may be something else that is maybe causing him to, I would essentially somewhat putting himself in a bubble where he's not really communicating that much. He's just in his own world. So I would try to find some additional support and see maybe what else could be going on. But I'm really wishing you the best. I know that's very challenging. Life is different with kids, as we all know, and they have their own personalities, they have their own lives, they have their own way of thinking of things. And so I think it's great as a dad that you're really trying to be mindful of what he's watching, staying on top of that, and being your best advocate for your child. And just take care of yourself. Make sure you have some time to talk to your carrier, kind of figure out logistics, like what can you do to kind of work around him downloading it and deleting it and downloading it and deleting it. And see what other types of support may be available in your community, specifically for kids, that can help them if they're trying to navigate some challenges as it relates to their behavior or how they're communicating and etc. So that's what I would do as a parent, and go from there. So Colton said she goes to therapy, but he will not talk. Okay, well, I would talk to your therapist in that case. So maybe have a conversation with your therapist, with your child not being present, and just maybe communicate and see what specifically they would recommend at this point. That personally for me is definitely out of my scope on the medicine side. But I would just communicate with your therapist and see specifically what do they recommend in this particular case to maybe help him get over whatever it is, or what they recommend as the next steps for him. So I hope that helps. I'm wishing you all the best, and I'm hoping that you feel better very, 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 very soon, and you get everything lined up and get some movement going on with your son. I know it's hard as a parent when you're struggling with your kids, but you're doing great, at least by acknowledging it and being aware of it, and not just casting a blind eye to it and not paying attention. So I commend you, and I appreciate you so much for bringing that to my channel, and I wish you all the best. Feel free to definitely keep me updated on how things go. Feel free to subscribe so we can keep in touch, and just let me know how things go for you. All right, so we talked about a lot today. So we've had some really great dialogue. I appreciate you all for being present and for really watching the video. If you're watching the replay, there's a lot of information that we covered today in terms of eye contact. And I gave you a fantastic analogy for you to keep in mind when you are trying to make eye contact with someone. If you use my cowboy and cowgirl scenario, I will guarantee you it will help you to start mastering eye contact. And there's not a lot of things that I guarantee as it relates to communication, but this is one of them. I have done this. I still do this all of the time. And I help my audience to do this as well. I have my personal one-on-one clients to do this also. So this is something I'm telling you, if you can just master this, leaders, excuse me, I had a cough. You will be in a very good position as it relates to mastering eye contact. This is what will set you apart as a leader to move forward and to communicate at the higher level than your peers. Now, there's a lot of videos on my live. So if you're just joining and you have subscribed to my channel, hopefully, and you like the content, check out my lives. I have a lot of great information there that goes over lots of information as it relates to communicating. If you are serious, and I mean serious, about going to that next level in your career and communicating at a higher level than you and your peers, and you want to be that standout leader, this is absolutely the place for you. You will learn so much here. Feel free to ask me any questions. Learn from my over 20 years worth of experience being in very friendly and unfriendly situations to help you really manage leadership under pressure, patience and leadership, communicating at a higher level, thinking on your feet, what to do when you're caught off guard, what to do when you don't know what to say. This is my specialty. This is what I talk about on my channel. My main target audience is women in leadership, but I have a lot of people in my audience that are not in that target. They are men in leadership. And so I welcome everyone, regardless of where you are, to join me and help us to develop the next level of leaders that our world really needs to be able to communicate. So I appreciate you all for being here today. Thank you so much for Colton, Sadie, Dogdo27, and Evan Cook for providing a lot of feedback and a lot of conversation and some really great, fantastic dialogue about eye contact and then life as being a parent as well. So this is what this channel is about. We talk about real situations, real scenarios, real strategies to help you move forward in your career, not only professionally, but obviously sometimes we talk about personal things. We've talked about Bitcoin. We've talked about a lot. So I appreciate you all being here. Let me know how I can support you. Let me know if there's any other content, any topics, anything you want to learn more about that will help you elevate yourself as a leader. If you're struggling with anything specifically as a leader, especially as it relates to communication, leading your teams, leading yourself, advancing in your career, negotiating your salary, I'm here. I will help you. Just put something in the comments below and I will record a video just for you. I have a couple videos on the queue right now. I have one for a forensic accountant that's coming up very soon about confidential communication, and we're going to go into it and have a lot of fun. So I appreciate you all, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for joining me and spending so much of your time with me today, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.